right here.
Yeah, that's true.
I have a ring on. That is also a circle.
Oh. The Labendita crater,
that
very
sight
good.
right there,
Oh.
that is a circle.
You are again very good at this.
Thank you.
Pick feet. Not quite able to land the winning shots over to T2K Legend.
However,
Fortunately,
you pull out the weapon that isn't necessarily meant for this type of range and you hit a few shots. Legend currently just zigzagging this one out of there. Circle though, up towards that eastern side. Inco, of course, gravitating towards the center of it as per usual. Quite good at this one. We have Nova doing excellently well after that last game, down towards the south of Minas Generalis. 4 AM also very much far out the way, very similar to our last game, so we can kind of expect them to move a little bit early, but it's certainly not going to be an easy central position for them this time around.
I was just keeping an eye on DRS and Buradam on the southeast coast. DRS fairly slow to rotate up from Puerto Paraíso up to Impala, and it's allowed Buradam to actually catch up with them. Now a little bit of conflict potentially on the southeast coast as My Name P looking to peek on over towards Rules, both of whom are in the blue zone now. Spotted. Rules takes a little lick of damage there, and that's going to slow things down, make it all the harder. My Name P can't really afford to take too much himself, but Killer dispatched early into the buggy, trying to flee the scene, but Rules under pressure still by My Name P on the ridgeline, can't quite connect the shots. The bullets are not there in the magazine, and Rules can careen down.
The player just sending away in the buggy should have been pretty simple. Even Stevens. Fortunately, pressure gets the player.
In the church and through the graveyard. We'll have to pray that they don't take too many shots here, but Beautiful is on the roof. My Name P able to hop out and go on the inside there. Pick feet burns the vehicle, but allows the player into the compound.
My Name P suddenly solo player in the midst of the Wolves here. Looking to bite back versus these guys. Only 2 players for Buradam. 1 nade could be all it takes, and he's completely going for the bank on the outside. Molotov though, that's curtains.
Oh, I thought he might have been able to get a knock in response there, but the Wolves will hold it down. Fireflux in the meantime, however, could have been lighting up Pick feet on the hold. Maybe even stealing this point away. Manages to back off behind the ridgeline. Goes for a second peek there on a sliver of HP. Ketch lines it up as well. Out for one more circle, so until that gets pushed in, should be quite safe.
IHC looking for them to do a little bit more, honestly. Probably one of the teams we've seen with the most clutch plays. I talked about the nades have to be timed perfectly for 4 AM, but it looks like S2G have their number now.
Silas wants to put another one, another cat amongst the pigeons. Kelsey has taken a knock in the meantime, but they will be able to res this as Silas continues the bombardment. A re-knock, and 2 players now down. There's a Molotov to follow it up, and Silas is going to roll on forwards. There is a player to deal with. It's Good Xiao. He's already taken a lick of damage, and a nade over the top of the rock is not going to find the damage, and Silas has the challenge. An excellent shutdown, and Silas ruins the day for 4 Angry Men.
Beautiful nade over the top there. The arc is strong.
Catch. Launching ordnance, providing cover. The Wolves will have to move parallel to them. IHC crashing into Geek Fam. Alex down first. Snipes able to get the flush almost instantly. Leaving the numbers at 2 on the inside. IHC with 3. Pushing through the building now. Godless. Trying to hold on these corners. Yol onto the upstairs, and Geek Fam don't want to take this disadvantage fight. They're going to regroup, reposition, and fight 4 versus 3. But Micah falls down to Demo as he sneaks away back into the building. The high ground occupied as well as Yol has a nade to cook. They are launching that ordnance out as U-High flanks around the side for Geek Fam. Godless falls. And IHC are down to 2 active. U-High around the door frame, looks for more damage and he'll find it, but Demo's still active. Ziol for the 1-2 punch, but he's cutting both of them down. U-High finally curtailed, and there is only 1 player now left standing as IHC were able to deal with the backlines. In the meantime, there is a rock-up coming through as well from Godlike. All isolated to the upstairs, and now Godlike Stalwart put a break on the fight.
Crazy moments here coming from IHC to hold this one off, but Geek Fam able to re-stabilize here. U-High gets back up to speed. A huge amount of damage done by him, but Stalwart starting to send grenades through. 3 players for them.
Would be an excellent pickup if they're able to take down all 4 of Geek Fam, but they are not willing to go for the full.
Vampire Esports move up. 43 players left, 30 having to recoalesce. They take the strong building for themselves, hoping to hold out from there, and this could be another big game for Nova going forward. Influence came in also, but it's DRS taking it down for 7.
Carrillo, Mafioso,
Oh, just like that.
both pulled down, reduced to mortals. This time around, Godlike Stalwart getting rolled down by the Geek Fam, who have been able to hold out against 2 crashes in the same location. They've lost U-High for their troubles, but they have managed to pick up a lot of points now, Blank, on that elimination count. 6 eliminations for Geek Fam. They are on the warpath. 3 players active for Inco. They lost a player earlier on. Now they're fighting around the sides with S2G. 4 players active.
I think S2G, with the performance they've had so far, Inco's going to be a little bit worried, but Geek Fam's not done yet. Still taking shots towards Inco's side. Snipes has to hit the deck, continue to move it around. Doesn't even know where he's being shot from, and now Damrude, last remaining member for the team. And it's Alter Ego, in fact, in a pretty decent position, all huddled up in the shack.
Squash could be really, really brutal here, but Razy spotted around the side, and the Wolves are the other side of this hydraulic press that is crushing S2G. Squash spotted on the ridgeline, takes Memory down. 2 players for S2G caught in the hard place there. As Inco fall back, they want to keep 3 alive. That's all they've got to play with.
Really smart play there from Squash as well, because he wants to absorb those points coming through from S2G. Unfortunately, it may have just given them time to get these players back on their feet. They will unfortunately lose Calci in the process. Silas, a really good game so far. Silas will use his last grenade to hopefully confirm its elimination over towards Memory. Doesn't do quite enough damage, but should bleed out fairly shortly regardless. Inco playing around this edge, just give them a massive amount of cover. I said earlier, it's probably one of the best places to crash onto this position. Fortunately, still taking damage. I think that might be either from...
Coming through from Squash means that Memory's point goes over to Inco. 9 eliminations for S2G right now. As Damrude looks to line up more shots with the SLR over on towards Alter Ego. That is a lot of damage that can pour through those open doors. Unfortunately, he's a little bit broadside to Inco's position, to S2G. Nova, if they move a little bit further in. Not that they...
Squad with the help of U-High. Just wondering who will fill those boots for him. But right now, they've got to take what they can get.
Wolves a little bit earlier than they would have liked. 4 eliminations, though. Not a disaster, but not what they needed to try and pick the pieces up. S2G have an answer to Inco. And that is really, really fast there. 12 eliminations on the game now already as the Geek Fam going to add that one up to 13. Unlucky for some, but S2G will absolutely be glad of those points. Hamzy, sure, has been knocked, but that's rezzed very, very swiftly by Ray Z. In the meantime, Influence Kemen going to take the mad dash across the road, get past that crate and up to the hillside. Vampire on the broad of it. This killer still from DRS as the last player standing. Could prove to be troublesome.
S2G, Silas currently looking like a trash compactor at the moment because he is crushing it right now during this match. Hamzy G assisting with some great shots coming through for the Mini 14 and the Scar score. Vampire Esports just barely living in the moment, holding on for dear life, basically on life support at this point in time, sucking down the oxygen.
It's not going super well. There's nades from Lil Boy. Stoned has one of his own. Did manage to get the heal off, and the stims are going to start to tick up now. So the longer they're in this, the better chance they have. 15 eliminations now for S2G. And there's nades. Hang on a minute. Is this Alter Ego's coming through? Pombit burns them down. 3 players from Influence Kemen. They've taken a knee, and nades over are brutal. Alter Egos versus Influence Kemen, and it's going their way. Nova are also chiming into this as nades tipple over the top, picking up a couple of those points. 1 player remains, and it's Pombit for Alter Ego into the vehicle. 2 points for them. Nova picking up the share of it, though, with 3.
And up to 6 teams remaining. Pombit, that last golden survivor for the team many, many times now. But again, the massive eyes are on over towards S2G with that 15 eliminations. And for that standout performance coming through from Turkey, that region that has just given and given and given this year.
Order from the top of the roof. Nova have been so brutal for so long here in this position, but they are now with their backs to the circle and will most likely have to move towards S2G. Lil Boy from Influence Kemen had his team taken away, but will still truck on. T2K getting picked apart now as S2G rack up 16. They started this game blank 37 points behind the leader of Inco.
Last zone now. Everyone's thinking about this one. Nova, second game in a row, they find themselves in a fantastic position. Just taking up that approach that Inco showed us before, but doing it in a way that looks so aggressive. Frozen just stands over the top. There goes T2K. Alter Ego ladder up to 4th place. A potential to go further. And S2G now start their assault over towards Nova, down the hill. First nade goes through, does not get anything done. Racing for Pombit. Look at this. Could play spoiler.
Buoyed by the crowd. The power of the fans. Keeping him alive right now, Nova. Looking to try and crunch that one out of him. But they are being so cautious here, Blank. 5 eliminations on the game right now. And S2G just suppressing that ridgeline. Little boy from Influence Kemet is still here and he still wants to play. Order falls first. Jimmy pushes up to the rock and will handle business. But this is an opportunity for S2G. Unfortunately, that door is shut. One player falls, the second two to follow. Silas is the last to be put under pressure, put to the test. And with that, Nova take it down. From the central position, they held strong. And that is the way that they come back into it. They come back swinging.
G was completely confused towards those last moments. Regardless, they had gone through the ringer to get to that point. Unfortunately, Nova was just a little bit too hard of a challenge to tackle.
Thank you so much, John Allen and Black, and welcome back to the desk. My goodness, is that one hell of a storyline we have back in our hands. S2G taking home a win in at least points.
Put themselves in a great place. This is a team that definitely can take huge advantage of that with everybody else too. But now of the overall ranking, S2G currently in 2nd place now, taking over Alpha 7. I actually did not see that happening, and they might make it 3 games, to be honest, as we go to the 2nd page here. DRS game, this team we really haven't seen much. I mean, currently 6 points, and I kind of want to go down a little bit more Wolf Esports. I feel like this team, they could definitely have a great performance like how Nova has been doing. They can definitely push themselves out to that 1st page.
Exactly. Fall into you.